welcome back to my channel. I know, changed my hair again. In today's video though, I wanted to do a Q&A. I wanted to answer your guys' questions. It's been a while and I do think it's nice to do this every once in a while so we can get back on, on a more personal note and I can respond to you guys directly. So I asked you guys on Instagram what questions you wanted me to answer, and here goes. I'm gonna fly through these because what usually happens in these videos is, since I am not the master of synthesis or being concise, these videos end up usually being either very long or I don't end up answering everybody's questions. But today I want to try to answer as many questions as possible, so we are just going to fly right through. So, first question, do you see yourself living in Italy for the future? Well, I'm here right now. I feel like I'm in the right place right now and I'm doing what I need to do and what is, kind of my calling. So yeah, I'm here for now. I have no idea what the future holds and, we'll see. If I'm not mistaken, you are buying a home. How's that going? Bad. It's going bad. I mean, it's going good because at the end of the day, some progress has been made, but the progress is very, very slow. And if I look at the bigger picture and the fact that I've been buying a house for the last year, almost a year and a half now, in that sense, it's not going great. What do you think about Måneskin? Måneskin is an Italian rock group, alt rock group that went to Eurovision this year, and they actually ended up winning the whole festival. If you are a long-time subscriber, you'll know that, I used to like Eurovision. Not like Eurovision, I used to watch Eurovision because I do listen to some Italian music, and sometimes the artists that I listened to would end up at Eurovision. And I swear, you guys, I would always get so mad because Italy got robbed every year, basically. They robbed Il Volo, they robbed Francesca Michelin, they robbed Mahmoud, and I don't even know who else was in there because after a while, I just stopped watching. It was getting a bit too ridiculous. So to answer your question, what do I think of Måneskin? As Italians would say, non sono il mio genere, but I'm happy that Italy won Eurovision after all these years of getting played, and I don't think that they're a bad musical group, so good for them. I don't know if this question is too personal. I'm curious, scusa. Would you consider raising a child in Italy? If I'm going to be 110% honest, at this moment, the answer is no. I have so many videos on my channel that I think make it pretty clear as to why that is. I do not want to bring or raise a half-black person in this context. I just finished reading your book. It interests me that the fact that you literally cannot remain with your money without doing anything about it. You have to invest. I'll be starting earning my salary soon. To get ready for that moment, which book/YouTube channel would you suggest? I don't know anything about finance, or just Google. Every time digging in more in depth. IDK, but I'd really like to know. So I guess this person is pretty much asking suggestions on, channels and resources to get into investing. So it depends what language you're looking at, first of all. If you are an Italian speaker, I absolutely recommend Alessandro at Io Investo. That's where I learned a lot of the stuff that I know about the Italian market and what's happening in the financial markets here in Italy. Whereas if you can understand English, there are lots of channels and resources in English. Some of the biggest ones are Graham Stephan and Andre Seek. I might be pronouncing his name wrong, but especially Andre, I used to watch him a lot, and his channel was the one that really helped me get started in investing. So absolutely, I would suggest him. I don't know a lot of books because I didn't read books to learn how to invest. I think I said it on my channel before that honestly, even doing a whole laurea in international economics and management and literally studying, taking courses like corporate finance and financial markets and stuff like that, and learning the equation behind bonds and interest rates and inflation and stuff like that, I still didn't feel confident enough to invest once I graduated. But it's one of those things where you kind of just have to start. And once you start, you learn and you start doing it, we'll say. It's half about confidence and knowledge and half about just starting. So I feel like these channels that I mentioned gave me enough confidence and knowledge for me to throw myself in there, and then the rest of it, I'm kind of just learning as I go. Your experience at Bocconi, also on a social human level. I mean, it's really weird to say because I usually have pretty poor experiences. If I think about like my high school experience, my middle school experience, most of my working experiences, I've had more negative than good, but I must say that I enjoyed my time at Bocconi. I think that Bocconi is a very well-protected bubble, and you're in the center of Milan with people that come from a lot of different places and had a lot of interesting life experiences. And they value other people that have different experiences, like being different and diverse and speaking another language and being from someplace else is really valued at Bocconi. And so for me, it was awesome. I would have thought that, you know, the fact that I'm not rich and I was actually pretty poor when I was going to Bocconi would have impacted my experience negatively, but I just found the right friends who didn't make that an issue, and so I had a great time. What do you think about Piketty? Reference the reel on capitalism and being from an immigrant family. Well, if you didn't see that reel, it was this.
Yes, it's about capitalism, but I'm the child of immigrant parents. They didn't fly halfway across the world for me to be a broke bitch. I'm sorry, guys.
And I had actually never even heard of this economist before reading your comment right now. After looking him up, he seems pretty interesting and probably somebody that I would have a lot of ideas in common with. I mean, I'm not the type of person that's going to label myself. I'm not going to label myself a capitalist, as I'm not going to label myself a socialist, communist, or anything else. I think that we need to find all new solutions to face the problems that we have right now. We have modern problems, so I don't know why we're looking at ideologies created by old white European men from hundreds of years ago to solve our modern day problems. Me personally, I don't brand myself, I don't mark myself as any kind of ideology. I just am existing in the system that I exist in and trying to find the best ways to work around it. And I do hope that the system improves along the way, if that makes any sense. And I do think that there will have to be a lot of different compromises to come up with a new system that works for everybody. But I'm not branding myself with any specific ideologies. What do you think someone should do when becoming an adult? Definitely learn how to manage your money, learn about taxes, learn about managing your money and taxes. Because at the end of the day, after all that studying that we just did, 99% of the stuff that we studied and we learned in school has nothing to do with adulting. Favorite beauty products at the moment? I have quite a few like skincare faves. I'm really loving the rose water from Fresh Beauty. Or is it Fresh Cosmetics? I think it's Fresh Beauty. I'm really loving their rose water. I'm loving the La Mer moisturizing cream. I can't wait till I'm actually able to afford it. I'm loving the Sunday Riley face oils. What else am I loving? I'm loving dark burgundy color lipsticks like the one I have on. The one I usually have on that people always ask about is from Huda Beauty, and this one is from Fenty, and I'm going to leave you the names right here because I'm really bad with names. I'm bad with names when it comes to people. I'm bad with names when it comes to places. I think it's an American thing, but I just cannot remember names very well, so I can't remember the names of these products, but here they are. Curiosità, che lavoro fai oltre alla content creator? Io lavoro in un'agenzia, diciamo che da un po' la nostra agenzia si sta focalizzando di più sul content e quindi sto gestendo una pagina content, anzi ho fondato una pagina content e se posso pensare ad un sorta di titolo sarebbe Project Manager secondo me, dentro un'agenzia digital content or content. Have you taken a moment to reflect on your growth? What do you think? I think it's pretty amazing. I mean, I don't do this often. I don't like to toot my own horn. I think that I'm a very humble person, so I don't spend a lot of time looking at my growth. But my therapist told me that I should. And just objectively speaking, everything that I've been able to accomplish in the past 6 years, 7 years is pretty amazing, and the quantity of how much I've grown in the past 6 and 7 years as a human being is amazing. And so I'm very happy for that. I'm very, very happy with where I am in life right now and what my future prospects are. Whew. Whew. Will you be buying another house, and what are your travel plans this summer? Don't ask me about the house. No, I don't even want to think about houses right now. No, right now, no. Maybe in the far future, I'll change my mind, but right now, absolutely not. I don't want to repeat this process again. Is a no for me. What is the best area in Milan for a mixed family, black, white, to live with young kids? I would look at the Porta Venezia area. I love northeastern Milan. That's where I live. It is known as the most multicultural part of Milan, and it's also quite residential and a good spot for families. I love it. If I were in your position, I would look for a house in the Porta Venezia area. Live in an expensive city, Dublin, and wasting so much money on rent. Any advice? I mean, if you can, move to a smaller city. I see that a lot of people are doing that right now. I think it's more complicated if you're like a minority, because that's what's stopping me. I would love to, buy a huge house in Bergamo and live my best life. But I'm black, so I can't. If you can, move to a smaller city. Would you consider making a YouTube video about your Kalori project? I guess I could, and I don't know why I haven't. Good one. My American boyfriend is moving here in Italy for university. Any tips for him/us? Just try to make him aware of the fact that the school system is very different here, and he'll have to adapt to, the method of studying here, the rhythm of studying here, the approach to studying here. He should know that it's very theoretical and less practical, so there's going to be a lot of sitting in seminars and a lot less, and also this depends on, what he's studying. I don't know what he's studying. It's been told to me that in the scientific fields, university in Italy and university in the States are very similar. But if he's studying what I studied, something similar to like economics or something in the humanities, I don't know, just be very prepared for a very hands-off and individualistic approach to schooling. I think that's it. How do you define success? You're such an inspiration. Keep it up. Oh, that's really, really nice. I would define success, or success to me would just be feeling happy and content. Some days I feel successful, some days not so much, but if I could just reach like a constant level of happiness and contentness, I think I'd be okay. How long did it take for you to learn Italian, and what methods did you use? It took me, I want to say like 3 years. Yeah, by the end of Bocconi, I feel like I had a decent grasp on Italian. And methods, just throwing myself out there, forcing myself to use the language and put it into practice, forcing myself to be uncomfortable. Yeah. Why did you move to Italy, and who supported you the most in this decision? I moved to Italy because I studied Italian, went on an Italian exchange, and really liked the country, and saw that college was insanely cheap over here relative to American university. So given all those factors, I wanted to go to school here. And then once I moved here and went to school here, one thing led to another, and I'm obviously still here. How was it like for you to adjust when you first moved to Milan? It actually wasn't that hard. I had done a lot of research. Anybody that knows me personally knows that when I put my mind to something, I become very obsessive about it. And so when I knew that I was going to live in Milan, I literally would sit on Google Street View all day. Okay, maybe not all day, but I would look around all the different neighborhoods and all the different points where I was going. I would join Facebook groups that talked about life in Milan. I would watch YouTube videos about life in Milan, though there weren't many. I just really kind of inundated myself in the life and what to expect. And so I don't think adjusting to Milan as a city was that hard of an adjustment. Though it was an adjustment going from like small city to big city. When I first got like pickpocketed and robbed, that wasn't very fun, and that was to adjust. But I don't think that was Milan. It was more from the fact that I was coming from a small city to a big city. How was it for you adjusting as a Black woman in Milan? It's been a struggle for me. I mean, I think the fact that I went to university here, and like I said, Bocconi is a very sheltered bubble, so the specific university that I went to helped a lot. And so the adjustment wasn't hard. What was hard was when I graduated and started working in the real world and got out of that bubble and then, coming to terms with just, the reality of what that was. And who knows, maybe I haven't even fully adjusted to that, perhaps. Just resist. If you really want to be here, you'll stay here. And if you somehow find, I'm assuming that you came here. And if you came here and you're living here, I assume that you can also leave. I know that everybody's situation is not the same, but if you have the choice to stay or leave, you yourself will find the right choice for you. Do you think something from astrology is true? Not really, but I find it kind of crazy that every time Mercury goes into retrograde, it feels like my life is falling apart. And Mercury is in retrograde right now. Hai letto Queenie, cosa ne pensi? Adoro te e I tuoi contenuti. Beh, grazie mille. L'avevo iniziato sull'aereo, però sono tipo a capitolo 2 o 3, devo ancora finirlo. Non ho avuto tanto tempo. Did you face backlash when first telling people you were moving to Italy, or did you keep it private? I mean, I wasn't a public person when I decided that, so backlash, I think you intended in that way, no. I did get a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people thought that I was crazy. They were like, you don't know the language, you don't know the culture, you went there once for 2 weeks and you're insane. Their youth unemployment is crazy. Italians are super racist. These were the things that people would say to me when I said that I was moving to Italy. And I did it anyways because they were right, and I actually am crazy and I love a challenge. And I was young, so there was also a bit of naivety in there. But for the most part, at least the people that counted, so my family, supported me in my decision. And that's probably why I did it. Vita in Italia come va e per quanto ancora ti vedi qua? Per adesso va bene, e io direi un altro paio di anni, 3-5 anni. Yeah, that sounds about right. How long does your hair color last before you refresh it? I usually go to Nati, my hairdresser, once a month. So by the end of that month, I mean, it doesn't tend to look bad. It just starts to lose its shape. The color, he's an amazing colorist. And so even as the color goes on, even when I was keeping my hair blonde, as time went on, I feel like it just kept looking better and better. I don't know, but maybe that's just me. Will you do a video explaining how to invest in stocks without the help of a pro? By the way, I loved your book. Well, thank you. I don't know if I'm going to do a video on how, for the simple fact that it's not technically legal. I'm not a financial advisor, and I know that in the States, giving financial advice when you're not a financial advisor is illegal. And I bet it's illegal in Italy too. So an in-depth video, step-by-step, saying how to do it, probably not. I did do a live in Italian, an Instagram live in Italian with Alessandro from Io Investo, the channel that I mentioned before. He is a licensed trader and I think a licensed financial advisor, and so he can give advice. And in that video, he talked pretty in depth about how to approach it. And I have a video on how to invest in the stock market in English, where I give in grande linee how to do it. But I don't want to make anything too specific, step by step, do this, even because it doesn't exactly work that way. Tips for budgeting, saving as a recent grad. Set goals, set savings goals, check your spending frequently, automate your bills, and also automate your savings. And I think if you can do all of that, you're off to a pretty good start. What do you think of Kamala Harris so far? No thoughts, no opinions. I have given up on these politicians. I don't even want to see them. I don't know. Do you want to get married? I guess I do. What do you think about paying for holidays or paying holidays? I take advantage of that as a tax-paying resident in Italy. I love the fact that we get holiday after holiday. There's holiday and pre-holiday, holiday and post-holiday. Basically, the whole country shuts down and nobody does anything for August. So you already know, whether you're taking a holiday or not, that you're not going to be working in August. As an employee, I love it. As a person trying to get anything done, as a business person, as an entrepreneur, oh my God. It's not so much the paying for the holidays. That's fine. It's the fact that half the year is holiday year. Half the year you can't do anything. That's a lot. Are you prepared to leave Italy if Salvini becomes prime minister in 2023? Not prepared in this right moment, but I'm preparing to be prepared. Will you move back to the States with Enrico if Italy shifts more to the extreme right? Back to the States? No. somewhere else? Yes. I mean, like, whether they shift right or not, as things are, that's already kind of the plan, so. Do you think Italy is a right or left country? Everything is relative. If you're comparing it to one country, it's going to be left, and if you compare it to another country, it's going to be right. So I don't think there's an absolute, is Italy left or right? What do you think about the rising of Meloni as right parties and as a woman in politics? I think this person is asking, what do I think of the rise of Giorgia Meloni, which is an Italian politician, and she's in the right wing. And she's basically like the most powerful woman in Italian politics right now, or at least maybe one of the most visible. I don't know, but it's kind of weird how that happens quite often. Ma poi la guida di auto cambio manuale com'è finita? È finita. Così. I didn't learn, I can't learn, I won't learn, and è finita. Okay, I'm searching for a couple more. This video is already 30 minutes. Oh my gosh. Okay, hopefully when it's edited, it won't be that long, but I'm gonna take the last questions now. I'm not gonna get through to everybody, unfortunately. Da adolescente, come pensavi sarebbe stata la tua vita da adulta? Sicuramente non com'è. Non avrei mai pensato di finire così, però io cambio le idee abbastanza spesso. Quando ero nelle elementari, io volevo diventare la prima donna e persona nera presidente dei Stati Uniti. Like, seriamente. Poi per un altro po' volevo diventare attrice, poi per un altro po' volevo diventare avvocato a corporate lawyer. E poi, quando non potevo scegliere più, sono andata a studiare economia. No, sono andata a studiare economia sempre con l'obiettivo di diventare avvocata o avvocato, but then quando ero all'università ho visto che non volevo per niente studiare legge. Ho guardato i miei amici che studiavano giurisprudenza and I said, damn, glad it's not me. E quindi, in breve, non così. Okay, last question. Planned holiday, and actually I guess somebody asked me about the house and also if I had anything planned for summer, and I completely like zoned out at the second part of the question because the house just mi scossa, mi altera, divento alterata quando penso alla casa. But anyways, planned holidays, actually no, because, and it's related to the house, if all goes well, we paid for the house already. We have the appointment to sign the mortgage contract next Friday, and we're supposed to get the keys to the house in July. Like, everything has been communicated this way. This is supposed to be the plan. And if it goes the way it's supposed to go, we will be doing the renovations of the house throughout the summer. And I want to be like there for that. I need to be in the city, on their backs, watching them fix the house. So that said, I don't really have any long vacations during the summer that I want to do. I've kind of accepted the fact that I'm going to be in Milan watching them renovate my apartment. And I'm fine with that, actually. So yeah, no summer plans planned, but if something happens, you guys will see it. So yeah, you guys, thank you for taking the time to ask me these questions, and I hope that my responses were good enough. I tried to answer a lot. I answered most of them. Yeah. We'll be back to our usual programming next week. Hope you guys liked, and if you did, be sure to like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'll see you guys in my next one. Mwah.